Welcome to the show. I'm Jason Whitlock. Ray Lewis is here and will tell us what the Ravens should do about Colin Kaepernick.
And I'm Colin Cowherd, and one of Steph Curry's teammates will tell us what he thinks of Steph making fun of LeBron. Speak for yourself on a Monday starts right now.
All right, hello and welcome. We're joined today by a couple of Super Bowl champions, Ray Lewis and Eric Davis. Let's start in Baltimore, where the Ravens announced they have had direct discussions with Colin Kaepernick are still making up their minds about signing the activist quarterback. Here's Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti.
To quantify hurting the brand, I know that we're going to upset some people, and I know that we're going to make people happy that we stood up for somebody that has the right to do what he did. You know, nonviolent protesting is something that we've all embraced. I don't like the way he did it. Personally, I kind of liked it a lot when he went from sitting to kneeling. I don't know. I'm Catholic. We spend a lot of time kneeling. We're very sensitive to it, and we're monitoring it, and we're still, as Ozzy says, scrimmaging it, and we're trying to figure out what's the right tact, and so. Pray for us. We do want to win games, and I'm not sure right now that he is going to help us do that.
All right, Cowherd, should the Ravens sign Colin Kaepernick?
Is he going to win them games? Let me ask you.
He's a backup quarterback.
Then I wouldn't sign him. I think he's too newsworthy. Joe Flacco, if I had 3 cups of coffee and sat down with Joe Flacco, I'd fall asleep in 5 minutes. He's the most boring starting quarterback in the league. No personality. Kaepernick's newsworthy as his backup. It's not like I have a star quarterback who takes the headlines. If Dak Prescott's the quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, nobody cares. It's all about Dak. If Brady's the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. What I worry about here is he going to win games? No. Then I'm bringing on a very newsworthy backup to a starting quarterback who is as vanilla and nonverbal as anybody in the league, and it would worry me.
You're making my point. Again, I'll say it and I sound crazy. He's a better fit in Dallas where the brand and the starting quarterback are so much bigger than him. I think he's a better fit there. I don't like the Baltimore move just because of what the city's gone through with the Freddie Gray situation. I think bringing Cap to that situation would just make him even more newsworthy and more conversation about him. The other thing I feel bad for Steve Bisciotti and the Ravens. They've made the mistake of being honest and transparent with the media and their fan base, and they're being punished for it. No good deed goes unpunished. They've had a transparent interaction with Colin Kaepernick, and now they're being vilified. They haven't even made a decision. Whatever decision they make, they're going to get criticized for. I feel bad for them.
Well, I'm looking at it from this standpoint. If you like your backup quarterback, so should you sign him? If you don't need him, you shouldn't sign him. If you like your backup quarterback, if you believe Ryan Mallett can do what needs to be done if your quarterback goes down, then there's no need to sign Colin Kaepernick. You can't just sign a player because of what's going on and social media is saying you should sign him. Revis can probably still play corner, but the Denver Broncos don't need him. So if they brought him in and said, well, we looked at this guy, but we didn't sign him, it makes sense. That's my whole thing. If you don't need a player, then don't sign him.
Listen, I had a lot of conversation with most of the top people that's making these decisions. And something everybody said, the same thing. Does he help us win?
Yeah.
That's the end. And so that's why I think it, kind of gets twisted a lot when you see people attacking Baltimore and the Ravens like, oh, well, how did they can't do this? And I'm like saying, if Joe Flacco is out for a week, maybe. Joe Flacco is back in 2 weeks. Joe Flacco is back to playing. I'm going to tell you what I would really love to see. Everybody's talking for Colin. Everybody here at this table knows this one thing. If you want to prove something to somebody, get on the field and prove it. If you want to really play football, voice your opinion. Muhammad Ali stood up for civil rights back in the day. But when Muhammad Ali got in the boxing ring, Muhammad Ali is pure business because that's what he does. I think, honestly, owners, I would love to see Colin come out and say, I just want to get back to playing football.
Thank you. This is what I've been on for.
I want Colin to come out and say that to the owners across the world. Like, listen, man, look, okay, I did my little protest thing. I understand it kind of went a lot of ways, but I like football.
If you don't tell people, they've got to guess.
They got to guess, which all of us keep guessing about what.
But you know what? But this is beyond that, because see, this isn't even about the guessing aspect of it. Although I did hear John Harbaugh say that we're going to have the conversations with Cap to see where he stands on playing. I want to know if he really wants to play football, which is the craziest thing, because the narrative has gotten to that point to where, like we're all saying, he has to tell the teams, I want to play football. And I don't think there's another free agent out there that you're asking whether or not he wants to play football.
His actions got to back up those words, and his actions aren't backing up that he wants to play. Ray, there's two things. What advice did you give Bisciotti and the Ravens organization about Kaepernick?
Yeah, I think the same advice that I've done since we played. If we bring this guy in, does he help or does he hurt? It'll never change. Since 1998, the first time Ozzie Newsome walked up to me and asked me about Rod Woodson, Sam Adams, Michael McQuarrie, do we bring these guys in? How do we change the culture in Baltimore? I said, I need Sam Adams. I need Rod Woodson. I need these guys. And over the years, that same protocol stood. Let's have a conversation. Does this help us? And like I told him, I said, look, you got to tell me, I don't know the seriousness of Joe's injury. So you guys got to inform me on how serious that injury really is.
Right. Now, Ray, and can I tell you something?
Please.
That's been the entire gist of this offseason, talking about Cap. That's what I've been saying for all the teams. Does he help your team win? If you think that he can help you win, then you look at your backup situation. If you think that he makes your quarterback situation better, your quarterback room better, then you're dumb for not bringing him in. Because he can still play. If you don't need him, then I get it. He's not for every team out there, but you can't tell me. That's what we've been talking about. You can't say that there aren't teams that he doesn't make their quarterback room better.
That's what, like I do.
There's a lot of teams that he makes their quarterback rooms better. Trust me.
To another guy who might have to change his ways, Cam Newton. Cam recently dismissed reports that the Panthers were planning to make him more of a pocket passer, saying, quote, "You gonna expect a lion not to roar?" On Friday, I took Cam to task for refusing to change his style of play.
Now, there's an easier way to play quarterback, and it works in high school and college a lot more than the NFL. Run. Running is an easy, lazier way to play quarterback. It'll beat you up physically, but it's easier.
Okay, after that, the Panthers took a shot at me, tweeting, quote, "Hot takes are the easier, lazier way to cover sports. Touche." All right, Whitlock, are you disappointed that Cam doesn't appear to be fully embracing changing his style?
I'm going to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Easier, running, taking those hits. That's an easier way to play, taking those hits.
No, when you play, Brett Favre relied on God's natural gifts. Did Brett sit in film rooms? Because Aaron Rodgers does. That's how you develop Jordy Nelson. Michael Vick admitted later, Michael said, I came into this league and I didn't put the time in. When you go from an MVP to completing 52% of your throws and your mechanics have gone completely in the tank, you're not putting the time in.
Again, I get it, but people do what they have to do and do what their skills dictate they do. When the guy wins at the high school, junior college, takes a team to the Super Bowl running, I'm not going to say he's taking the easy way out. He's taking the effective way out that's been proven for him over time.
If Westbrook won the MVP, Russell Westbrook, and the following year he doubled his turnover total, his shooting mechanics went into the tank, and instead of 42%, he shot 38%, would you not go, he kind of fell in love with that MVP trophy? Cam eroded significantly.
The issue is but he's not as dependent on the players around him. I mean, you had guys having career years when he won the MVP. The things that he was capable of doing at the quarterback position, he's still taking the hits, he's still running, he's still extending plays, he's still doing all these things. We talk about Aaron Rodgers, and we always throw him in as this unique quarterback specimen. But Aaron Rodgers has some really bad mechanics. Aaron Rodgers doesn't set his feet when he throws balls. Aaron Rodgers throws off balance. He does all these things. Why? But why does he continue to do it? Because he's so accurate. He's such a great athlete. His talent allows him to do it. Cam is doing what his talent allows him to do. I'm with you. I think if he works on his lower half, he could be more accurate. He could do some other things, but I don't expect him to change what it is he's doing.
But don't
as far as running the ball and all those things.
This is the same guy on 3rd down and 1s and 2s. They're handing the ball to him like he's a 3rd running back.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you tell this young kid, oh, okay, now I want you to go run over a linebacker.
When you have quarterback leads in your playbook.
Yeah, absolutely. That's in your playbook.
But the Carolina coaches this offseason finally have gone public. We need you to work on the pocket. And
to do what exactly? Sit in the pocket and do what?
Do what Steve Young was a runner. The coaches said, Steve...
A damn good runner.
No. But Steve, later in his career, developed... Because he was a runner first initially.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, I think some of what we're hearing here might be, and again, I'm optimistic. I'm pro-Cam. I'm pro-Westbrook. I never give up on young people. Some of what we're hearing from Cam, I think, is a smokescreen. I think he doesn't want to give away what he's about to do. And I think what they're asking him to do as a coaching staff, Ray, get the ball out of your hands quicker, let some of the other players, Christian McCaffrey, make plays for you. I think Cam, I'm hoping this whole I don't want to adjust my style is a smokescreen trying to cover up the fact that he is about to, and the offense is about to adjust a little bit. He wants people expecting the Cam Newton that's taking off and running more often than he should. Instead, he's going to be a guy that's getting the ball to Christian McCaffrey.
He has the ability to do, Cam at this point in his career, honestly, the gifts he has the ability to do anything he wants to do.
No question about that. I don't doubt.
And the only thing I think what you're saying to your point is they want to get the ball out of his hands quicker. Let other people work for you, right?
Yeah.
And then
that's
later...
why they drafted McCaffrey.
And then later in the year, absolutely. And then later in the year, when Cam needs to go back to being Cam, then we're not going to tell you not to go.
Not even later in the year. Right. If it's 3rd and 1 right now.
I need you to be Cam.
I need you to be Cam, and you're going to run the quarterback sneak. You're going to run that quarterback lead. If they're on the end zone to get those points, they're going to pick their spots.
You don't think, though, that, I mean, he was the biggest star in the league for about 6 months. I mean, the dab, the whole thing. And his mechanics erode, and his completion percentage goes through the floor. You don't think he became a little celebrity Cam?
Listen, I think all people... I was going to say young people, but all people struggle with success and fame and celebrity. And so did he have a little struggle? Yes. Is he capable? If you just go look at his resume, he's won everywhere.
Everywhere.
And he's won here at the NFL at the highest level.
He's a winner.
That's my bet, is that he wants to win more than anything. And he will make the adjustments necessary to win more than anything. That's my bet. Could be proven wrong, but there's just too much history.
I mean, and even if they're saying get better in the pocket, then guess what? That's a better Cam.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He can get better and add that to what he already does.
To New York, where Odell Beckham Jr. just keeps on talking. Now Odell says he doesn't just want to be the highest paid receiver in the league, but the highest paid player overall, and it sounds like his teammates think he deserves to be.
Odell obviously is the best player in the NFL, and you know he's gonna get a lot of attention on and off the field. And you know, as a teammate, you got to be there to support him. You got to be able to deal with that as well, because he's not even a superstar. He's a rock star. You know, it's something that our NFL has never seen before. This guy's a global icon already at the age of, 24, 25?
Odell know what he wants. The organization knows. They're going to take care of him. It's just a matter of time.
Is he the best player in the NFL to be paid as the highest paid player in the NFL?
In my opinion, he is. He's worked hard. He come out, compete. He make all types of plays. Sometimes you just got to be rewarded.
All right, Giants owner John Mara said recently he doesn't want to see Odell in another uniform. But Colin, given his constant drama, would it be a mistake for the Giants to commit long-term?
I think this is really complicated. It would be better if I just said yes or no. But there's something going on in New York right now. The Mets are underachieving. Both basketball teams are awful. The Jets are atrocious. Odell's not just a really great player. He is easily the most interesting New York sports figure. And so there is a business dynamic that I would have a hard time as an owner not paying. Now, I don't think his numbers, I mean, that great catch, they lost that game. When he has over 100 yards, they have a losing record. There's a J.J. Watt thing here. J.J. Watt is starting to sort of define the Texans' culture. And J.J. Watt sells a lot of jerseys. Listen, I don't think Odell's productivity translates necessarily to wins. He is easily the most fascinating New York sports figure. Aaron Judge is second, and he's a baseball player. So I think this is a hard call.
You've fallen for the okie doke. Odell Beckham Jr. is the most overhyped, overrated player, and he is a great player, but he's overrated. And his celebrity is completely overrated. You put him and Carmelo Anthony in the same room and watch what happens. It ain't even close. If Odell's not for the blonde hair, people wouldn't even know who the hell Odell Beckham Jr. is.
And they do. He does have it, and they do. All over the world.
Yeah, immediately. Not all over the world. No one cares about
when the league had to send someone over for those American Bowl games that they're doing overseas to send to London, who did they send? They sent Odell Beckham. The league itself sent Odell Beckham on a rock star tour because he's that polarizing.
He ain't a quarterback.
But it is what it is. But I'm gonna lean with Colin. You cannot let him go. You cannot let him go. To try to replace that. When the last time we, first of all, seen that in New York? In New York.
Right.
We're in New York. Answer the question.
Lawrence Taylor.
And that's the person I was going to go to.
Me too.
See, what have we seen? Let me tell you where you saw Lawrence Taylor, where we haven't seen Odell Beckham Jr. The damn Super Bowl. And so until it shows up in January and February, what are we talking about?
But we're talking about is it worth a long-term contract? I get what you're saying about a Super Bowl.
Listen, he just signed a shoe contract. Okay,
what?
No, time out. Those shoe companies, they won't give out money to Ben Simmons and Lonzo Ball. When those shoe companies gave
Lonzo Ball, that's because of LeVar. They'd love to give him a contract.
When those shoe companies give an NFL player that money, they've done market research. And it's telling you that kid is selling tickets.
He has no competition in that market.
Should they give him the money? Would it be a mistake not to sign it? Right now, you don't have to, and he knows that.
Right.
He doesn't have to.
But they're
going. No, he's not Julio Jones.
He ain't Antonio Brown.
He's more valuable maybe though than Julio is to Atlanta.
That's what I was about to.
I think so.
I don't know.
To New York.
I think he is.
New York?
No, this is the thing. He's just as valuable.
He's more valuable than Julio Jones?
Yes, he is.
To New York,
Julio Jones. Julio Jones
can't
That's
get
because Julio plays in Atlanta.
Exactly.
But that's what we're saying.
They can't get Julio, but they got a guy that's almost as good.
Julio Jones missed 2 games last year. Atlanta scored 45 points in both games. They have multiple weapons.
Who the hell they're playing, Colin.
Odell Beckham.
Julio Jones is 6'5", runs a 4.2 40, and don't drop passes in the playoff time. He actually got his team to the damn Super Bowl and should have won it.
Played poorly in the Giants' playoff loss. Odell. They played poorly. If he doesn't deliver, they don't.
He's overrated, overhyped. He's not overrated.
He's not overrated.
Yes, he is.
No way. Listen, if you want to go overhyped, okay, I can give you that. Because that's not on him, but not overrated.
He's Jerry Rice.
He's really good.
He's on track. He's on track.
If Jerry Rice played in this NFL,
but he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Stop that.
Don't do that.
Stop
we
that.
always do that. We always do that.
He can't play against ghosts.
Bring Jerry here. Jerry can't come here right
now. They escort you off the line of scrimmage now. You could play defense back then.
It's the era we in.
That's not his fault, man. They do the same thing for Julio Jones. But you say Julio is great.
If you
don't use the rules on Julio.
If you own the New York Giants and you walked into that stadium like Maury, you owned them, and you walked into that stadium and you saw 8,000 Odell jerseys, and you were on like an NFL owner before the game, you were on the sideline, and you heard the crowd. You could not let him go.
It's one person.
I have a friend who covers the Giants. He's like, you cannot believe pregame with Odell Beckham.
He's bigger.
He is a rock star.
He's bigger than Eli Manning.
Easily.
In New York.
Joe Montana left San Francisco, and they kept selling tickets. Y'all act like Odell Beckham Jr. is Michael Jordan or somebody. This man laid an egg in the playoffs, bigger than anybody.
Listen.
He hasn't done squat.
Hold on. You know what? Odell dropped a couple balls, but do you realize that there were a whole bunch of bad throws in that game as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, because he didn't make the great one-handed catches.
He didn't make the easy catches.
Hold on. Yeah, he did drop some, but also the quarterback of that team made some bad throws.
But
we don't hear about. But you're saying Odell had a bad playoff. No, the offense had a bad playoff game.
Let's stay with the context of what we're saying. Should this man get a long-term deal? You cannot do that, Whit.
They're coddling him. They're
By the way,
feeding this to you're the best player in the league.
Time out.
He ain't the best player.
Ask yourself this. If, like when Von Miller got the contract, didn't we all sit here and say, if you don't give Von that contract, that locker room ain't the same. If you don't pay Odell...
Somebody will.
Well, not only will somebody will, what is the message to that locker room? That if you're great, you don't get paid?
Von Miller won a Super Bowl, Colin, damn near by himself. Odell can't even catch passes in January.
Welcome back. Joined now by NBA champ Matt Barnes, who I just learned was a high school football All-American player, and the founder of the big league, Jason McIntyre. Let's move to Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving, who had some fun at Harrison Barnes' wedding over the weekend, and are both taking some heat for it. A video from the wedding surfaced showing Kyrie laughing hysterically as Steph mocked LeBron's workout dance videos. All right, Whitlock, should LeBron be upset about Kyrie and Steph mocking him?
Hell no. Look, if I'm cracking jokes on you, it means I like and respect you. And, you know, again, maybe there is a little bad blood with Kyrie.
A little?
Or whatever, but he certainly has a right at a wedding to have a few drinks and laugh at LeBron's expense. If LeBron's skin is that thin, I feel bad for him.
So Pat Riley took shots at LeBron. Phil Jackson took shots at his, quote, posse. The NBA, by the way, never really minded stars taking games off until LeBron took games off. Kyrie and the Warriors are trolling him. Like, the media won't put LeBron in the top 3 in the MVP voting.
Oh,
like
he's won 4 MVPs.
Yeah, he should win every year. So my point is, I'm LeBron James, I'm sitting here, and I'm thinking, golfers, even at Tiger Woods' lowest point, you never hear a golfer take a shot at Tiger because what he did for golf. LeBron gets nothing but trolling.
He should be coddled like Tiger Woods. Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm saying that LeBron's carried this league for 10 years until the Warriors arrived, and it's all trolling. Don't you think he's tired of it?
If he's got very thin skin.
I'm okay with Steph Curry doing it, you know, with the rivalry and everything, but Kyrie Irving? That's his boy. And I know what you guys are saying, you know, they have the history recently. This is a bad look. Can you imagine ever one of Michael Jordan's teammates saying, hey, man, laughing and egging on an opponent? Larry Bird.
He's a human.
Hey, hold up. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, any of their teammates ever troll him? And I know there wasn't social media back then, but this just to me, and Matt's going to disagree, it feels like a lack of respect for LeBron, especially from Kyrie. Yeah. Come on, dude. That's your boy.
No, I don't agree with that at all. I just think it's a different time. I mean, you got to realize that back when you guys are speaking, early 80s, 90s, there were really rivalries and people weren't friends. These guys are all friends. We all see each other in the summertime. We all hang out. We all do each other's events. And it was just a situation. I mean, what did you guys want Curry to stop? Don't talk about LeBron, Mike. You know what I mean? It was just, they were having fun. They were at the wedding. You know, I mean, well, people were mad because Kyrie was laughing. It was funny. You know what I mean?
You didn't think he was egging him on at all,
I don't think so. You know,
just
I mean,
encouraging?
and Steph is a funny, you know, light-humored person anyway, so it wasn't, I don't think there's any malice behind it. It was just fun at a wedding and people happened to catch it. You know, in locker rooms, anybody can get it. You know what I mean? There's no rules, there's no safety zone. Coaches, presidents, LeBron, Steph, KD, everybody gets it. So, I mean, it's just happened to be caught on camera.
But on the heels of the I'm coming home trolling, demanding a trade.
But I don't think you're thinking about that when Steph is doing the, you know, should I laugh right now? I mean, it's just a part of the moment. You're at a wedding, you have the drinks, people are like, you see it's ties all done. It's all it was.
Making fun of LeBron James.
Cowherd. If I caught some video somewhere, you making fun of me, fat jokes, whatever, the way I talk or whatever, I'm not going to be offended. My skin ain't that thin. I'm a grown-ass man.
He hasn't asked for a trade, though.
Yeah, I didn't demand to be traded off this show.
He didn't want to be away from you.
It wouldn't matter, man. People, I can't stand people that can't laugh at themselves.
No, I agree with you.
If you're going to laugh at everybody else, you got to be able to laugh at yourself. And if LeBron James can't look at this and can't understand all the things you rattled off go along with being the king.
A lot comes with it.
Heavy is the, you know, again. Matt,
how do players, Matt, in the NBA, I mean, as candid as you can be, what do they say about LeBron? Do they kind of think he gets pampered by the league?
You got to respect it. I mean, with all he's done, like you said, he's carried the league and what he's done for the brand of basketball and little kids and growing the sport.
he gets whatever he needs. Just like at some point, Steph's going to get whatever he needs in this process. KD, when you're the best, you're the greatest. That kind of stuff happens.
The rivalry between LeBron and Steph during the playoff, is there a rivalry? Is there and there should be some tension.
I mean,
there.
I got a small taste of it, being there the last few months, but I mean, just watching it as a fan, I mean, I just think it's just competitive banter back and forth. Like I said, I don't think these guys have a genuine dislike for each other. It's just, hey, you're in the way of us getting a ring and vice versa. He's in the way of you getting a ring. So I just think, when LeBron won, he did his little gimmicks. Steph's doing his little thing. I think it's just, it just adds more hype to next year.
Matt, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a book, The Rise of Steph Curry by Marcus Thompson, the Bay Area. And he essentially said that Steph and LeBron were cool for a while. And then in the finals, when LeBron blocked his shot and talked trash to him, that changed everything. And Curry actually was on record in the book saying, man, I thought we were friends. I can't believe he came after me like that and talked trash to me. And Curry felt like insulted. I mean, Russell Westbrook has shown disdain for Curry. James Harden, these guys don't really respect him. He's a below-the-rim player. I don't know. I mean, you don't think there's anything at all to all this stuff that Curry's talked about?
I mean, it's just all talk. I mean, if everyone didn't really like each other when you see each other in L.A. during the summer, it would be something going down. This is just all back and forth talk and for the media to analyze and pick apart and have topics to talk about in July when there's not much going on.
Matt Barnes knows real NBA tension. This ain't it. This ain't it. All right, welcome back. Ray Lewis and Eric Davis are back. Let's move to UFC 214, where John Jones knocked out Daniel Cormier in Saturday's main event to take home the light heavyweight title. Now Jones has his sights set on a new opponent, Brock Lesnar. The last time Lesnar fought in the UFC, he got caught doping. And at this point, he's viewed as little more than a gimmick fighter. Colin, would Jones-Lesnar super fight be good for the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, Mayweather-McGregor is good for the UFC. I mean, it's a little shticky, but the way I look at mixed martial arts is that it's 80% MMA and 15% boxing and 15% pro wrestling. Is that it is an entertainment vehicle.
110%.
It doesn't bother me. I think a little sideshow.
I was thinking that too, but
they have 7 or 8 fights per card. If one's a circus, that's not that bad.
I loved your point on your radio show this morning about how important John Jones is to the fight, and they need legitimate stars like that. So I kind of thought you would come from a different place. This would be a gimmick. It would generate a lot of money, but would it enhance the credibility of UFC? And that's what I came away from 214 feeling like this was the most legitimate UFC has ever felt to me.
Yeah.
I thought from Chris Cyborg to Woodley to the main event, all very credible. It felt like better than a big boxing night because there were 3 main events. So I'm not sure if this is the route they need to go with a Lesnar-Jones fight. I would stay the course and try to develop other legitimate superstars like John Jones.
Why can't you do both at the same time, though?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking that you should be able to do. If Lesnar can come in, you do your testing, all your drug testing, and you clear all of that, you go in, why not? I mean, this is a sport in which, we're always, in sports, especially in the combat sports, we're always talking about the best pound per pound guy, okay? This is an opportunity to show that this is a sport in which you can have those weight divisions blurred. Because in boxing, I mean, Mayweather can't fight a heavyweight.
Right.
Okay, it just can't happen. But in this sport, you may actually be able to start bringing some more interest because you can start going outside of weight classes and fighting in that aspect of it. So that's why I think it'd be good, especially when you have Jones, who everyone knows is legit.
And I'm gonna just say this. I don't know if it'll be a really good fight. I mean, I've been in this world for a minute, high school wrestling, then I started dabbling in MMA, and so I do a lot of it. And the one thing about this business is when you deal with weight, with that big of a weight weight difference, that's a different competition.
Yeah.
Right?
But don't you think this is the one sport where you might actually be, because
you almost can, but if you Brock, you're gonna lock him into a position in that little bit of cage, and his length, you might let him hit you. Like if you Brock, you want him to engage you, right? Because you want to brawl with him. You don't want John Jones to stay away from you. You want to brawl with him. And with Brock's size, bro, you start grappling and getting on him, that's another fight.
Well, but you start kicking him in his head, that's another fight for Lesnar.
You got to keep him off you. Yeah.
Okay, John Jones elevated his rock star status, right? What if John beats Lesnar.
Yes.
Then that is like, then he's like superhero status.
Yeah.
I tend to think he would beat Lesnar if they both made it to the ring without doping allegations. But I understand what Ray's talking about, because I went to Baltimore once. Ray's a great player, but Willie Rofe came to town.
Wrestled him to the ground.
Put it on Ray in a way that I just had never.
The next time you make the allegation, you're going to show me the film. You are not going to say it without showing me the film. Show me the film.
I witnessed it.
You know what?
Witnessed for the fact.